shout out soon. I'm gonna get to it. I promise. I just like to let them pile up. So that is my laundry machine. I do apologize. It's right behind me, right there. Hey, something new for a change, right? I can't do the same thing every freaking video. So, today I'm gonna be talking about my travels lately. I've just been in Florida for the past couple weeks. Obviously, I live in Florida, so I'll be in Florida, but I want to talk about my little adventures. So, like I said in past videos, I would make this video. I went with my partner and his friend all over Florida. We went anywhere from Sarasota through Key West, that whole kind of range and area through the Everglades, all that. So I'll talk about that. So I can start from Lido Key. So typically I've been to Lido Key, Sarasota, St. Armand Circle, like in my whole lifetime, hundreds of times, countless times, literally. I was coming here since a kid, so I'm very familiar with the area. I know it like the back of my palm. And yeah, so basically, although St. Armand Circle is a bit confusing to me to this day because they always change the stores, and it's a circle, so you're like, okay, where was Gilwins, where was Venezia, like it's still confusing to me to this day. Like, I can't navigate myself properly. My navigation here is very poor. Like, I have to use the GPS just to go to the nearest store. Like, I'm horrible with navigation skills. But we went to St. Armand Circle. I walked around the shops first, and then that's where I bought a few things like I showed you in the last haul video. And yeah, we ate some ice cream, and I'm learning to only order one scoop, not two, because they make these scoops huge. And in my head, I keep thinking of a scoop like at home when you scoop your own ice cream. 2 scoops is small. I usually do like 4 or 5, 6 scoops. But no, these scoops, they mean like big portions of ice cream. So, yeah, 1 scoop is more than enough in a little cup, So, yeah. And because it got my stomach upset last time when I went to St. Armand's, got some ice cream, and then went to the beach, and then I had to run back to St. Armand's because literally run, like with no car. I had to run all that way back from the far end of the beach to the circle because, oh gosh, it was like a 10-minute run. It was horrible. And yeah, I had to go to the bathroom real bad, so I was like, okay, let me just eat something like simple, plain, like vanilla or something like that. I forgot what I ordered exactly. I think it was vanilla. Yeah. So because vanilla is like the only one that doesn't upset my stomach like that frequently. Like we were purposely like walking around the shops first, and I was like glad we did that because like it gave my stomach time to settle. Not to go into detail, but yeah, I may be lactose intolerant because dairy really does affect me in a negative way as of the last year or so. So, yeah, but anyway, then, we had a good time, I think. I don't remember if we ate there. My memory's foggy because we've been to so many places. But yeah. Anyway, so we got at the beach and had a blast. I love Lido Key Beach because like you don't have to walk far for it to be kind of private and without people. So that's a plus. And yeah, it was really nice weather the whole week. Like we weren't having really issues or rain or anything of the sort. So that was marvelous, but we decided to do 3 beaches in 3 days, like 3 days in a row. And I didn't get sunburned, but like almost, if you know what I'm saying. Like like I just had to be precautious. The next day we went and hit up, before Lido Key and Beach and before San Armand's, we went to downtown Sarasota where we looked at the crystal shop and we ate at that's where we ate, right? We ate at a Asian sushi Thai place, whatever it's called. Like, it's kind of like, I don't remember the exact name, but it has, I think it's called like a Gudetama, the lucky cat on the front. And it's just a tiny cozy place, but they served us some bowl stuff. I ordered the beef because I felt like my iron was getting low at that time, and I was like, let me order some beef and get my iron levels up. This is like a beef dish with vegetables mixed in there. It was pretty good. Gosh, this washer is loud. I'm so sorry about that. But it's Sunday, it's cleaning day. I normally don't film on Sundays, but I'm catching up because I've been away for so long. So, I didn't realize the food was spicy, and thankfully spicy doesn't bother my stomach nowadays, but yeah, I was like sweating. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then after the next day we went to Boca Grande. Boca Grande is an island, and you have to pay to get in over the bridge, and then typically you have to pay to park at the beach too. So well, it depends which beach you go, right? There's a few beaches you can go on there, but we went all the way to the South End beach, and then I decided to park on the other side where there was like not as much civilization, so to speak. There's like another parking lot in the way back end if the other parking lot is full. And then we saw riptides, and my boyfriend walked in the water and he almost got caught in the riptide. He can swim, but I guess not. Like, he sinks easily in the water, so it scares him and stuff. And it scares me too, I guess. But like, he was walking right into it because there were people pointing that there were manatees in the water, and he just walked right. He has a big inner child. Like, he gets so excited. It's so cute and adorable. But like, oh my god, I couldn't even. I saw the riptide. Literally, I could see the currents and I could see him walking, but I couldn't even begin to process what he was doing so that I could warn him. And Kim, his friend, saw him, and she couldn't. I don't think either process because it happened so quickly. And before we knew it, we were like, turn back. Like, we were getting like really agitated with him because he was not turning back. He wanted to see the manatees, and we're like, you're about to walk into a freaking riptide and you can't swim. And so he was like this close, I swear. And God knows what it was in that water. So yeah, he turned around thankfully, and he didn't see manatees. But later we walked past the other end, and there were a lot of like big rocks. If you've ever been in Boca Grande Beach on the south end, did you see those big rocks in the corner? We had to turn that corner where the kind of like this shed is, and then go under the shed. And this beach always changes every year. It's always looking a little different, so it's always a new path or a new different thing. And so we walked to the better end, and that one's always like crowded. It used to not be at the beginning, but people caught on quick, and now it's like mostly crowded. So we just parked our stuff, you know. I always bring my Acetic Island towel. I love that one. My cooler, my flip-flops, you know, and some good face and body SPF cream. You know, and that's it, really. That's all I need for the beach. I usually don't get a towel because it's too much to carry, and I dry from the wind and sun tanning anyway, you know. I tend to go in the water first, and then after I enjoy it for an hour or two, I'd get out, dry up by just standing and laying there. Sometimes I take a nap and then I go home, you know. I think the max I could stay on the beach is like 4 hours, you know. I could stay all day, it never gets old, but it's like the sun, you know. And it's always like, at a time when the sun is not too intense. And so by the time the sun sets, you have to go home, so that's about 4 hours, you know. So I've been getting a lot of sunlight lately. A lot of sunlight. That's probably why I look more relaxed or calm. But a lot of beach time, like never before. I've never been to so many beaches. As yesterday we went to one. I'll get to that. And I haven't been to that one in years because I used to think it sucked, but actually it doesn't suck. But I'll get to that. See how much beaches change over the years. So yeah, and also back then, like, that was when the red tide was strong, and so it made those beaches suck. Like, the red tide was horrible in 2017. So anyway, in 2018. Moving on. So the next, after that, Boca Grande Beach, we found some really awesome seashells, and a manatee went up to Kim, and oh my god, that was scary. And then a big school of fish flew by us. Like, who knows what was out there? Probably sharks. And so people were like, yeah, we are gonna leave, like, this is not safe. So we just decided to kind of hang out in the shallows of the water for a bit. After that, I was like, I'm done. I'm just gonna go suntan at that point. That's my sign to just get out the water. And that one had quite a bit of seaweed too, so, which I'm not too much a fan of. And so we went to the Pink Elephant, which is a place I went since 2018, on and off. It's always has some delicious meals. I'm not a fan of their lunch menu, but their dinner menu. I'm gonna soft speak now because the air conditioner went off, so I have to soft speak. The Pink Elephant for dinner in Boca Grande, Florida, you should go because literally, I mean in the literal sense, the dinner was phenomenal. It was super. The service is always good, but the dinner, oh my god, it was the best food I have ever had. Okay, so they serve Asian cuisine there, which I was surprised. So that was good. Alright, I got like the beef bowl. Again, I was like trying to get my iron up. I freak out when my iron gets low. I just eat like a lot of meat just to make sure that doesn't happen. But before that, we actually rented a golf cart, and we got a 4-seater, and they were closing, and I thought they wouldn't have given it to us because the south end, if you get a golf cart from the south Boca Grande, they don't give it to you past 3, I think, and it's probably closed on Sunday. But if you go on the north end of Boca Grande, where you first enter the island, and you see that area with the ice cream and the shops and the golf cart, go there. They will give it to you, and they're closed at 3 or 4, but they'll let you use the golf cart beyond hours. So if you rent it for 4 hours, you can technically use it for 5-6 hours. They don't care as long as you bring it back. So that was very nice of them, and it was a better deal than the south end. So yeah. So that was fun. I've done that a couple times, golf carting through Boca Grande is always wonderful because you get to see the whole island, stop by in the shops without having to use your car. It's just, these golf carts only go like 25 miles an hour, and they have limited battery, but she said you can go all the way to the end of the island and back and still have 10 miles. So typically they do have that, I'd say 20-25 mile range. Which is nice, and they give them to you fully charged, of course, so yeah, and yeah, it was just a fun time. I think by the time we got back, there were literally like bats flying around and no-see-ums biting us, and it got both Kim and my partner's legs pretty good. The little bites, bat gnat bites, what are they called? The no-see-um bites. They're like little bugs you can't see. They're in Florida. They're super annoying. They only show up like around water or at night. It's so annoying. Okay, but anyway. And it was fun. Like, I accidentally drove through the sidewalk when we're not supposed to. And there were like shrubs hitting my partner on the arm. And he was screaming. He was freaking out. I was like, what is going on? And then I realized we were not supposed to drive. He saw the sign. We were not supposed to drive on the sidewalk. It was so funny. And we had a blast. It was really fun. Okay, so that was probably the most fun I had in a long time. You could just spend a whole day on the island, but like it was so hot. Like it was, I felt almost nauseous driving that golf cart because it was so hot. And those golf carts, they're cheap, they don't have air conditioning. So yeah, I don't think any golf cart does it. I don't know. I don't know if they do, but anyway. So that was our second day. So our third day, we decided to spend in Sanibel Island. So That was about a 2-hour drive. And I decided to take them to my favorite beach. He's been before with me a couple of times, but she's never been to any of these beaches, so it was like exciting for her and stuff. And it's always fun when you have a guest come over and you show them around and try to convince them. Kim, if you're watching, try to convince them to live in Florida. Ooh, I didn't say anything, did I? Okay, but anyway. So, yeah, we went to Bowman's Beach, and wonderful, beautiful, like always. The waves were a bit strong that day, though, which none of us were really fancying too much. I mean, that was enough to just knock you over off your feet. And I think it was after a rainstorm, so yeah, it was strong currents. And a bit of seaweed, but not too much. But yeah. But the sand there is beautiful, and the island is gorgeous. And yeah, that place you have to pay like $5 an hour for parking. So, 4 hours, $20. Yikes, just for parking. But it's worth it. It really, truly is. A lot of times, I know this sounds bad, but like places like that keep trouble away. You know what I'm saying? So it's super safe, and it's just, yeah, I just always feel safe there, like welcome, like I've never had issues. One time I even caught with literally like, I was like skinny dipping basically, and like even the cop was like, yeah, as long as you put your trousers on, you're good. Like, it's just a warning. Like, please don't do that again. They're very respectful and nice, because I thought I was alone, but I guess someone caught me. Oops. But yeah, anyway. He's like, it's not a nude beach. I was like, all right. But, yeah. Sometimes I don't want those tan lines, you know what I mean? But yeah. Anyway, so I always go on the far end where there's no one, but I guess someone must have, like, went through an entrance and saw me. So who knows? I don't know how they knew, but yeah. Lately, I haven't been seeing them though. They're not, like, I've seen the parking enforcement, but not the golf cart troopers. You know what I mean? They haven't been there lately for some reason. Maybe they have. I don't know. They patrol on beaches with golf carts. It's a Florida thing. But yeah, we had a nice time, and we didn't only have so much time, I don't remember where we ate that day. To be honest with you, we probably just grabbed a quick Chick-fil-A drive-thru or something like that. Oh yeah, on the way back we grabbed Chick-fil-A because it was late, we were tired. And we're like, we're not about to spend $100 on dinner again, So these people, they took so long to fill our order. The line literally went all around the store, all four corners, and then some. And they gave our food to someone else. I have never had a negative experience with Chick-fil-A until then. And literally the workers were looking at us bug-eyed because they had no idea what the hell happened. I don't think that ever happened to them, in fact. And then the lady comes up and she's like, you gave us someone else's food. Like, she was like, with sass and attitude. So they gave her their food right away, and we had to wait our butt like 10 more minutes to just get our food. Mind you, there's people waiting behind us, a whole line, and we're waiting on these people. And this worker there was arguing with the other worker, like, I don't know, I gave them the food. I thought I gave it to them. I already handed out the food. And she would not want to admit her wrongdoing, that she just messed up, So they were about to give us their food that they gave to that people that said this is not our food. And my partner was like, he doesn't play. Y'all don't know, he's from Baltimore. He does not play around. He's like, you are not going to give us that food. And we paid a pretty penny for all three of our meals. The fast food drive-through, it's not cheap nowadays, y'all know. And so they were like, oh yeah, we'll give you cookies and brownies as a apology. Like, no, y'all should have refunded us the almost $40. Crazy. So after waiting an eternity, we got our food, and they didn't even say anything. They just handed us the food. That's it. We just drove off. But yeah, it made me reconsider, really. going there because, yeah, maybe it was just the location, but they were packed. I was surprised how many people go there. I don't blame them. Who wants to pay $100 a meal, you know? It's 9 o'clock at night. You're hungry. Go get you a Chick-fil-A, girl. You know, save those coins, right? And at least it's healthier than, you know, other fast food. Although, I'm not sure if they cook in peanut oil like Wendy's. That's not necessarily healthy, but anyway. So that was day 3. So I'm going to talk about the Key West now. Again, sorry for the laundry machine, but let's continue. So the Key West. So we went for 2 nights and 3 days to stay at the Hampton Inn in Key West, which is the hotel. When you first enter the island, you go left and you do that short turn. It's on the right, and we're on the 2nd floor, overlooking the pool from our balcony, and it was a cute hotel. And I brought my dog. This time I just wanted him to have a little adventure, you know, get a little away from home. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, on Sanibel Island I actually brought my dog, and he went nuts. Like, he loved it so much. He was just going crazy. He loves the beach so much. And he went for a little swim. I was holding him, of course. I would never let him swim in that water. He's so tiny, you know, by himself. I always hold him. But, you know, he was just having a good day with me, and yeah. So anyway, moving on to Key West. So it was a 6.5, 7-hour drive to the Key West. And so we went through all the islands. We went through, like, down toward Naples, the Everglades. We went down a different route, the South Everglades this time, not the 75 highway. And so there's basically 3 ways to cut through Florida, like on the south end. So we went the most south end, and then that's like the actual Everglades, where they have the boat rides, water tours. And literally when we first got to the Everglades, we stopped at a gas station, and there was an alligator in the water. There was actually 2 or 3, and someone was feeding them. I know you're not supposed to, but yeah, so we were watching them get fed, and then a boat came up and was like stopping to go see them, and they were just like, they look like baby or teen alligators. So they were really cute, and you know, I'm not scared of them because I've seen them plenty before, but we got pretty close, you know, like 5-10 feet, you know. They're just not scary. They're not gonna jump at you like that, you know. But yeah, so they were like, when people saw us watching them, that more people came to watch them, you know, because they were like, oh, I wonder what they're looking at. Yeah, so it is the Everglades. So we stopped at the shops where they sell like Bigfoot merch and all this cutesy stuff, gator stuff, you know. And it was a nice way to cool down because it was very swampy and hot that day too. And so we just drove through, took our time, stopped at different shops, and there was like one beautiful shop along when we finally got through the Keys, past Homestead, and started turning toward the islands. It was like all Bali theme, and you know, I already want to go to visit Bali, but like that was a sign even more. Like it was the most beautiful store I've ever seen in a long time. It was just amazing. I love the vibe, the music, just the sounds, you know, from everything, like jingling, and oh my gosh, it was magical. It has like mermaid stuff and everything, like just a mix of things, like lizard stuff. And so we went through like Isla Morada. No, we went through Key Largo, then Isla Morada, of course, then Marathon, then Key West. That's the order of the islands, going from east to west. So we stopped to look at merch because they always advertise like 4 shirts for $10, but it ends up being like misprint shirts and shirts that are just, I don't know, some of them were cute, but yeah, I would not buy them. I guess we couldn't find like 4 shirts that were decent enough to make up the $10, so we just decided to leave it alone and just look around. But everything on the islands is super, super pricey, like at least 2.5 times the price normally. So we didn't really get much, to be honest. The food, it was also kind of through the roof as well, as to be expected on an island. It takes a while to ship things, you know. So, yeah, you're gonna get probably crazy prices there. So, I don't remember what we ate. bills and gas and restroom, and just room to breathe, move, stretch, pee the dog, feed the dog, give him water, every couple hours. So, yeah, but it was worth the adventure. And so we stayed at the hotel. They gave us free waters, thankfully, so it was like we didn't have to pay for water, which was nice. The pool, we jumped in the pool right away. I almost wasn't gonna because I was so tired by that time, but we jumped in the pool, and it was just almost 10 o'clock actually when we did. So it was a huge pool. It felt so good just to be in it. The lighting was beautiful. It felt like a resort. It was kind of like a hotel resort-ish, because it just had like that tiki bar in the pool where they serve drinks. So it gave that resort vibe without it actually being a legit resort. I think what qualifies a resort is it needs a restaurant and like a spa area. I think that's really what would have made it a resort. But yeah, it was a pretty big place with a lot of rooms, and it was good for Hampton Inn, I was surprised. And then what didn't break the budget, I used some of my points, and when we split it, it ended up being only for me like $65 per night, so it was very nice. And yeah, if you want to travel for cheap, travel with friends. Trust me, you will save big bucks. Alright, but then the next day we got a golf cart. I decided to get an electric golf cart. I think it was called Hydro Thunder. Shout out Hydro Thunder. They were awesome, and quick. And it was like a bigger golf cart. It looked nicer, and it was actually the same price as a Boca golf cart. So I was like shocked. It was only like $90 for 4 hours. So you split that amongst 3 people. It's like $30. It's not bad for that time. For 3 hours. It was for 3 hours. So it was just enough time for us we did a whole loop around the Key West. The Key West is only like 4 miles wide, so it wasn't that hard. And we went to go see the castle/fort, the historic fort, on the west side of the island, facing the water. And it was pretty big, spooky. I'm very in tune with energy, and I've been to like the St. Augustine Fort before. I've been to the San Juan in Puerto Rico Fort, and every time I just get like an eerie, spooky vibe from these places, like especially the dungeons and the locked cellars. Like, like my throat clogs up right away. My chest feels heavy. I feel like sharp pain sometimes, like especially if someone was there. Like I feel that. I'm very intuitive with that stuff, and I get nauseous even, or like a headache, or I get dizzy, or I get really sweaty. That's what I felt there. Well, I still feel it if I just think about it, but yeah, I had to like leave some of the rooms, some of the cellars. One felt like a wine cellar. I don't know, I just felt like it was like a wine cellar for some reason. So I guess this was sometime around the Civil War in the 1800s. Yeah, those creepy rooms where they locked people and held them until they decide their fate. Just to walk in those rooms, it was like, oh god, it's just so creepy. But anyway, I don't know how people do it, like how they tour them. And then I saw like the biggest iguana I've ever seen. They have those like open windows with cannons, and there was a big fat iguana just sitting there. I was like, oh my god. So Key West is a lot of hens, roosters walking the street, and iguanas. And there was even one by the pool. We saw a big green iguana that was just kind of looking at us from the tree. And they're so shy, but they're so beautiful. We saw turtles as well swimming. We walked through the Hyatt Hotel, and they had like a huge pool of turtles, like 20-30 turtles. They were so pretty. They were coming up to us thinking we were going to feed them. They were so cute. And because we wanted to check out like the boating too, but they were like $700 to $1,500. We were like, we're not paying that. So yeah, we decided to just stick with the golf cart and swallow our pride. You know what I'm saying? We went to eat at a burger joint, so I had a nice fat burger there. And it was so hot. I don't think any of us were that much in the mood to talk to each other at that time, because it was like just so hot. We were just glad to just cool down for a bit. And I actually felt nauseous driving the golf cart the whole time too, because it was so hot. Like I was like heat advisory that day when we went. It was like 108 with heat index, so we should have went out later, but that's okay. And then we went to see the beach, and we walked the AIDS Memorial Pier. It was a very long pier, and then there were like those white jellyfish on the beach, but I guess they have those blue bottle cap jellyfish, they call them, right? The whatever, stingray, what are they called? Filipino stingray, something like that. Which I was shocked to see that warning sign there, because I didn't know Key West also had those. I thought it was just North Florida, like the Panhandle. But anyway, and then we walked around some shops, saw some Mexican stuff, and then this guy was like, no pictures. So we were like, okay, and then we just walked away. It's like, no pictures, no service then, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point? You know, they sell that same stuff all over Mexico, literally. Like, what's the point? The same artwork, it's just like the same imports. Why do you not want us to take pictures? You know, it just doesn't make sense. It's not artwork that will be destroyed by flash photography. It's literally just pottery. Like, okay, wow. I wasn't taking pictures, but it was just like, it was a stupid rule. But anyway, I guess they don't want people doing like a run and grab, you know, like it could have been like a thief taking pictures, like, oh, look what they have. So maybe that was the policy, but it's kind of strange still. And he said it in such a rude tone that it was just like off-putting, you know. But anyway, so what else did we do? We went to a cafe. Yeah. We did a lot in those 3 hours, and then we just went home. You know, went to the Publix, got some food for cheap. You know, again, why spend a bajillion dollars on food? And then the next day, we decided to go home. So that was the third day. We left straight away after checkout at 12 o'clock. We barely just made checkout by like 3 minutes, literally. And yeah, it was nice. They had continental breakfast. The first day's breakfast was off. The second day's was very good. So that's all. And then we drove all the way back home. And again, arrived at night. So it took a while. But yeah, we didn't really do too many stops on the way back. So yeah, but I did want to show you this map of Key West they gave us. So this is the whole island, basically. I can't show it too close, but yeah, this is the southernmost point. We drove by it. Fort Zachary Taylor State Park, where they have the fort. We passed through the Truman White House area. Let's see here. This is where we were dropped off. We had to take a shuttle from the hotel to get there. That's why we used a golf cart, because we had our own car, but parking is hell, and it's nicer to go see things kind of, you know, face to face instead of being stuck in the car. So this is kind of where we were dropped off. This is where the airport is and the hotel right here. So me and my partner actually walked this pier here, this whole strip right here, all the way to the end. This is where you enter the island. This is around where the Publix is. And this is the AIDS Memorial Pier. There's a cemetery here, and this is all like the boating tour stuff if you want to go scuba diving, all that stuff. But this is an up close of this portion of the island. So you can see the southernmost point, the dog beach, the memorial, the fort, and this is again where we're dropped off, and the pier here. So yeah, but yeah. So they gave us that map at the golf cart place. And what else? So we came back. Kim stayed through the next day, and then she left to go back to Maryland. And we missed her. And then yesterday we went to Minnesota Key Beach, and I haven't been there in years, and I actually collected oh gosh, I don't actually have them all here, but they have these. Let me show you real quick. They they have these rocks there. It's a mostly rock beach. And I collected quite a few polished stones. There's so much more pretty ones than this, but these are just the ones near me. I collected so many of these. My pockets were full. I had to keep tying my pants up. I was holding big chunky rocks because my boyfriend likes to collect them for his garden. He's such a good decorator. He has such good taste. And if you see his home now, oh, it's beautiful. It's like the color scheme and his new furniture. It's so, oh my gosh. It's so cute how he set it up. But yeah, so we got a bunch of rocks. He got a bunch of rocks. His pants get falling down. Yeah, it was a very brown sand, like brown black. It almost looked like California beach sand. And actually last night I was counting how many beaches I've been in Florida. Can you guess? 32. Yeah, I've been to 32 different beaches in Florida alone. And 43 in total in the whole world. So I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, I just sat there counting beaches instead of counting sheep last night. But yeah, I've been to, I guess I could name them. So we can start with Clearwater Beach, St. Pete Beach. And again, forgive me if I forget exact names, because there's also sometimes a couple beaches in St. Pete, a couple beaches in Clearwater Beach. So I'm just going to mention for the most part and skip over the bullcrap, right? Clearwater Beach, St. Pete Beach, Anna Maria Island Beach, the Bradenton Beach, the Coquina Beach, Lido Key Beach, Longboat Key Beach. This is going to take a hot minute. So I'm going down the Florida coast. Venice Beach, Englewood Beach, Minnesota Key Beach. Minnesota Key Beach, Englewood Beach, Boca Grande Beach. So there's like 3 in Boca Grande alone. So again, I'm going to skip all of the names and all the bull crap, like I said. Bowman's Beach, Sanibel Beach, Fort Myers Beach, Naples Beach. I don't think I've been in Bonita Springs. I'm pretty sure, but anyway. Marco Island Beach. So let's go along Key West Beach, Cocoa Beach, Satellite Beach, Melbourne. I think the one near Cape Canaveral, I forgot the name. St. Augustine Beach, I'm not in no particular order, gosh. Miami Beach, South Beach, Fort Lauderdale Beach, I'm pretty sure. Fort Pierce, I think, near there. So Panama City Beach, and then the Mexican Beach, I think that's called, and then there's one more by Panama. So I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. So apparently, if you have spent one day at different beaches for 3 years straight, that's all the beaches in Florida. So there's a lot, but all the names I've listed are pretty far apart. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all of them. I've never been to Daytona. That's the only one that's like the main one. Nothing really draws me in there. I have no desire really to go to Daytona Beach. So, oh, Siesta Key Beach. How could I forget Siesta Key? So there's one. So 33 beaches actually. All right, but anyway. So Minnesota was nice. It was not too crowded. People were just concentrated in one area basically, and we walked the far end. And beautiful mansions they're still building along the coast, and it just finished raining like hard, so that scared most people away, I'm sure, and the sand was wet. So it was nice. There were not many people, and the water was so calm. I haven't seen it that calm in a long time, and there was actually a big white crab like almost lunging at my feet while walking in the water. I was like, oh my god, that was a first. And then I saw another crab go in the hole, and then I saw another like fossilized dead crab, which was pretty cool to see. But yeah, these stones were amazing. I just finished washing them last night and drying them this morning, and wow, they are incredible decor, little pieces. So I just kind of lay them throughout the home, really, for cutesy decor, because I don't really know what to do with these rocks yet. I have enough rocks and crystals laid out throughout, so I'm like, okay, I don't want to like make it too cluttered and overbearing. But yeah, so that was the summary of our adventures lately. you know, it's almost like, in a weird way, in a good way, addicting to kind of like go see new places and explore. And I definitely caught the travel bug within the last 3 years for sure. And yeah, I would love to go to a cruise again sometime next year. I'm still hoping to see Iceland, you know, and I don't know. I sort of want to see like Acapulco maybe next year. Might hit up a resort there again. And yeah, it's just nice to like chill for a week, you know, just to have a place you chill for a week is just always so wonderful. And you don't have to worry or stress or think about too much. You know, it's just very nice to just get away sometimes. And yeah, so. But locally in Florida, I definitely do want to rent a place for like a month nearby so I can still be home in case of an emergency. But be by a beach, just work out of there and just chill, like retreat, you know. Yeah, that's really a wish I always want to do. I definitely want to go back to Ocala, Gainesville, you know, go back to the Painesbury Preserve. I love that nature park, see more alligators. It's the biggest one in Florida. And, you know, sometime go back to the Panhandle, but maybe more in season rather than going in January like a fool. And I definitely want to go back to St. Augustine. I definitely want to go back to Fort Lauderdale for a weekend. I loved it there. I definitely want to actually stay at Marco Island too, which is like so pricey, but yeah. And there's one place that has villas that I want to stay in Sarasota too. They were not available, like they're all booked. It's crazy, but they're like the best deal, and you get like a whole house, and there's like a community pool, but it's pretty decent. And that's pretty much it, you know. I do love Tampa. I don't know why people don't like Tampa that much. Like, it definitely is a place that pulls me back in time and time again. But yeah, anyway, so yeah. I definitely want to go back to Arizona, absolutely, and see more of Arizona next year. So that's a wish. I said I wasn't going to travel anymore, but this was just because his friend was coming to town, and I did not expect we were actually going to do all this, and at that we were actually going to go to the Keys. So it was kind of like last minute booking. Like, we only booked one night, and then we ended up doing the two because we were like, okay, we're exhausted. We're like, doing the whole drive, like, you might as well stay an extra night, you know what I mean? It's just not nice to just have to leave right away after doing all that drive. Yeah, definitely don't go to the Key West for just one night. Like, But I was surprised how many flights went in and out of Key West. Like, hearing those planes, it was right next to the airport. It was so loud, you could hear them rip through the air. Wow. You could barely hear it indoors, but like outside, oh my gosh, wow. Scary. These planes have so much power. I don't know how they do it. Like, how does it not like just fall out of the sky? It's a miracle. But anyway. All right, so that was my adventure in the last week and a half. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed maybe some of the sounds or me talking like a story time. And I will see you all very soon. Make sure you subscribe, tap the bell, hit all notifications if you want more storytime videos. And check out my website, tonybomboni.com, if you want to help support my channel and my work, my effort, my services. On there will help you greatly if you're going through stress or issues or problems in your life. I'll be there to give you advice like a therapist. I'm not a therapist, but like a therapist would. So I do have therapeutic education if you consider hypnotherapy clinical and transpersonal. But yeah, I don't use it actively, but I'm educated in a form of therapy as well. So yeah, I have years of experience in Reiki, and I've studied angelic healing, you know, so tarot reading I've been doing since I was 15, literally. So like, go check it out, sign up for a service today, and I'll see you all very, very soon.